wasn't like it was getting smeared or something.
Uh,
Start recording.
okay. So it'll, as we go, we will figure it out because Bruce, I want to. I want to do live shows with this thing. Nobody's doing that I'm aware of.
Yes. So good. Figure it out. No, I'm keen. But I tried different things like setting my different configurations of sound in order to get, because the two clues I had is I can hear the sound smearing, and you were having trouble with my volume. And so what I was trying to do, I wonder if I can turn. I was looking for the audio command so I could turn down the audio from the program a little bit. My audio, because I've got with the interface going and the computer and then it's hard to tell.
I'm going through my PreSonus.
Yes.
So it's going through a mixer for me to hear and use the microphone, and then into the PreSonus, and then into the computer.
Yes. The trickiness is because I'm using two mics, one on the amp and one for vocals through the PreSonus. And so it makes me think that sometimes the program thinks the amp is background music, is background noise, and tries to mute it out in order to make the mic more audible. But it could be hearing the same thing over the mic, and the mic amp doesn't, the vocal mic doesn't pick up the amp strongly, but it does pick it up. It's very positional. Like if I'm back here, I'm much softer than if I'm right up on the mic, which is what you want for a vocal mic. But when I play the guitar, even if I turned off the mic back there, I think you would hear some of the amp through the mic up here.
Yes, you would.
And I suspect that even though I was only playing the guitar and not using the vocal mic, that for some reason the program was like, not all the chords would sound cleanly. They didn't sound the way they do live. So, and sometimes it would, and sometimes it wouldn't. So I tried turning up the guitar a little bit in case Zoom was getting confused. But anyway, we'll see.
And on your PreSonus, you've turned up the headphones, right? You've turned that up. Because on mine, there's a mic 1, mic 2, mixer, main, and then headphones.
Yes.
Okay.
So, but the computer isn't listening through the headphones. My headphones would be. The computer is listening through the USB connection.
Oh, okay.
And so the mixer is putting together the two mics and sending it to the USB. And then here in the room, I often have the sound coming back turned down, but I've changed that to 0 decibels because I was 0 decibels of reduction because I was afraid that you were listening, that was affecting my sound on your end. And so
yeah, with this program or with Skype?
With this program.
Okay.
Because I'm still trying to understand, why is my mic 2 muted on your end? Maybe on my end is the point I'm trying to make, and so I'm trying to see, is there some setting that would affect that?
On your microphone,
yes.
It's plugged into a channel, right?
Yes.
And the channel is on your PreSonus, or is it a mixer board?
The PreSonus, coming out of the PreSonus, I have a virtual mixer board that's splitting the PreSonus, this mic and that mic into 2 different channels, and both of those channels are getting sent to the input for you.
Okay. Does your microphone that you're speaking into have highs, lows, and mids?
Microphone that I'm speaking into,
in its channel?
It doesn't have an equalizer turned on for its channel.
Okay. That may be a thing. That may be a thing. Because right now you're saying that it's going. Your two mics are going into a split left and right or something, one channel or the other channel, but there's no EQ for that. Period. Right?
So I could put the mic on both channels. Let's see. The
Mm,
mic's on one. Does that make a difference on?
it may. I don't know. I have mine flipped. I have everything that I
Just the
want.
mic.
Go ahead.
Can you hear the? Can you hear that?
I can hear that. Got another one?
And here,
So no mic. No mic.
yeah. What I said was, here's just the guitar without the mic, the vocal mic turned on. Yeah, there's still some jiggling that needs doing that. It's not clear to me yet.
And I was saying I have my system set up in reverse. I have everything going into this tiny Behringer mixer and then into the PreSonus and then into the computer because the little mixer allows me EQing of the microphone.
The reason I was using the virtual mixer is because Windows has trouble sending both two mics into a voice chat like this.
Mm.
And so the virtual mixer does that. It takes the two and puts them both into the same channel.
Huh.
And you can choose compression and gating and some other, echoes and I think you can choose. I could put them on right and left side of that channel, I think, but I'd have to, I could have it mixed down to have one of them mixed down to A and have the other one mixed down to B. Mix down A, mix down B.
This setup I use it for broadcasting into Second Life.
Good.
So I will plug I have vocals in one with EQ. I have guitar in channel 2, and it has a 1/4-inch input, and it has EQ available. And then I have my drum machine in channel 3 with the EQ. And then I send everything into one channel on the PreSonus as so it's getting a overall mix.
Yes.
That's my setup. So everybody's setup is always different, but it's good to know how a setup may be done. So I'm not using any virtual tools at all.
But you're working on a Mac?
This system is on the PC.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's on my little desktop, little square cube.
You're using a physical mixer in order to put
Yes.
to get the guitar and the audio.
Yes.
But you're putting that before you go to the PreSonus.
Correct.
Oh, but you're going guitar and audio into the mixer, and then from the mixer into the PreSonus. So the PreSonus is just getting one signal.
Correct.
Yeah. So I'm coming out of the PreSonus with two. What it would do is two sides of the signal. What the PreSonus naturally does, it takes the guitar and puts it on one side of the signal, and the voice and puts it on the other side of the signal, and then tries to send it on. But in order to get it to work with Skype, then I needed to use this virtual mixer. First of all, I wanted to split them out so that I could manipulate them separately.
Mm-hmm.
There's a complicated reason why I was doing that doesn't necessarily apply today, but.
And you saw that this Zoom software will let you record video and audio, or just video or just audio.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah, the voice meter output, and then the speakers are playing through the system speakers. So I don't know. We'll keep playing with it. When I just record there's an interesting point is when I just record. So I'm going to share. We're going to challenge the heck out of the system for a moment.
That's right.
I'm going to share my. I'll have to go and open the window first. What I'm thinking is I'll go pull up a video, one of the videos I recorded. And the point I think I'm making is In the video that I recorded, the sound's not muted.
Okay.
Let's test that because maybe I'm
And I have not tried to do a.
okay, so we're trying this again. I'm going to share my screen.
So I'm going to
and
share
we're going to do one
that
verse
screen now
of
that's
someone like
there.
you.
So I can hear it. It's still the same
And
volume level for me.
Yeah, I can't.
I have the
Let me tell it not to share.
voice meter. I told the
I
voice
opened that
meter
window
banana
after
don't
trying to
play
figure out how to get the
the
video
auxiliary
window
input
to share, but
into
So go to the bottom of the screen. There's going to be a little green suitcase. If you just scroll over, it says
that, but it doesn't show that window.
we'll just see the control on this mic.
So that's running the video player, but it doesn't show that window.
on this version, your guitar is much louder.
What we're listening to.
Yes. So that makes me think that there's some, but it's still wavering, like it wasn't wavering in the room, you know, not.
Yeah, it has odd lag.
But there's something in the recording.
So on the recording, what I'm trying to do is straighten that out so that I'm getting a more direct signal and it stops squelching the guitar. And so I'm going to keep playing with that. But I guess the test I was trying to do, that I was trying to demonstrate was if I just record to Zoom using my current setup, my mic is not muted.
Okay.
Guess that somewhere it's getting muted on your end. I suspect, but I don't know. Like when you see my name down in the, I see your name down in the lower left-hand corner with 5 bars.
Right.
I would think that means your
Bars. I don't have any bars.
yeah. Well, mine's showing 5 bars next to your name. I would have guessed this how muted you are. Like if I turn down your volume, that's what it would let you do in the Google.
Second, yeah.
For an individual player.
If I click on the screen, on your screen, it doesn't do it. It says chat or pin video. And if I click on mine, it says mute my audio. Hey, mute my audio, stop my video, rename, pin video, hide self view. So interesting.
Yeah.
There's stuff.
So we'll keep learning.
Yeah.
Um,
I made you full screen. Cool. Wow. That's neat. Now it's just both of us full screen.
double click on the picture and it changes it from full screen.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I love this.
That way, if you were talking to, let's say you had 10 people in your audience and you were playing, and Melissa in your audience was going to ask you a question, you could double click on her picture and put her in the foreground.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
So it's similar to Google Hangout, except this thing will allow you, if you pay for the membership, up to 5,000 people.
wow,
That's like, holy crud, that's a lot.
seems like plenty. One of the songs I'm working on is this. Oh, let's talk about my F chord changes.
Oh, there it is. Sorry. On the full screen, I have your bars.
Yes. So I think maybe that's how strong the signal is. I would.
It's not lit up. It only lights up when wait a minute. No. Like my microphone makes.
Does it light up when I'm talking so that
No.
that shows you who's the volume? Yeah. So
Mm-mm.
sure
I think it's something to do with your mic. I don't think it's your whole setup. I think it's your mic. I've got this cheese ball little, I don't know, $89 mic going.
Yeah, my mic's too fancy. That's the problem. I need to get to a no, but because I hear it when I'm just playing along on the guitar, strumming along, it'll sound fine in the recording, and then it'll kind of squelch.
Yeah.
So there's something going wrong in the.
There's an effect on somewhere.
Zoom is trying to help me because it recognizes that as if it were background noise, or something's. So there's there's something that is not clear. And I don't see anything. Oh, automatically adjust volume. I could try that. Does that make my mic louder?
You want to tell it to stop doing that? See what that
I was
does?
telling it to, I told it to stop doing that to start with. I just tried telling it to start doing that. Okay. You could press the space bar to unmute yourself. Sync buttons on the headset. I don't need sync buttons on the headset. Automatically join audio by computer when joining the meeting. Yeah, we want that. In the video, enable HD, enable mirror effects, hardware acceleration, touch up my appearance. I like touch up my appearance. That sounds good. Always display participant names on their video. Yeah. Turn off my video when joining the meeting. Hide non-video. Spotlight my video when I speak. That's interesting. Spotlight my video when I speak. So I guess what that means is now if you speak.
If I speak, it switches to the green screen, or it might
put you as the main person, and when I'm speaking, it switched to me as the main person, and when you speak, it switches to you as the main person.
Yes.
So that's
great feature when it comes to interviewing.
Yes. Display up to 49 participants per screen in gallery view.
That's crazy. That's a lot of people.
Record video during screen sharing. Yeah. Place video next to the shared screen. Okay. Optimize, choose location. Record a separate audio file for each participant who speaks. Wow. So you can separately track everybody.
And you can,
about that is if somebody says something inappropriate.
Or if they got a screaming baby in the background or something like that all going on.
Video. Okay. For practicing my F to C changes, I'm doing this painfully slowly. I'm trying to do, 5 minutes of a few minutes of that until my fingers hurt from doing barcodes, and then I'm thinking that eventually that will help me get to where I don't have to look at the fretboard, which would be one way to keep speeding up the thing, and I don't think about where my fingers have to go. And so I did have it up to 45 one night, so it may depend on, level of exhaustion and so on.
When you place your fingers on the fretboard, are you feeling for the fret lines, the little metal? Feel for those when you get your position that you want to be in. And the pinky is the closest to that fret line is the one that you want to feel for that. And then same thing with your first finger, you want it to feel for the line. And that'll help you get better finger memory of where your fingers are supposed to go because you're seeking out the fret lines.
Yes. So that's the way that practice is going. Is it's just going to be practice, keep doing it.
I'll tell you a secret, Bruce. It took me 3 years to learn how to play a lead.
A
riff. It took me 3 years to learn how to play a riff of my own and not someone else's, and just to play it without thinking about it. So take your time. Again, you've been playing a year now, maybe.
But I guess the reason I was bringing this up again is I'm thinking this is the right process.
Mm-hmm.
Keep doing it, because I'm already getting better at, I can place the F without looking at it. And then I'm doing the CF, GF, CF, GF in order to, because I have that change also to deal with. I was also trying to go G to D to B minor, but I think that doesn't give you the repeats as much. I'd rather do C, F, and then work. And then I think the D to B minor or G to B minor is fine for practicing separately. One of the things one of the people said along the way is don't even strum it. Just work on the
Shape.
fingers. Yeah. But with the bar chord especially, I think it's important to strum it so you can hear if you placed your fingers right or not. So that you're fretting.
And if you learn to pluck,
Everybody.
if you learn to pluck of the strings,
Yes.
then that's also another way. If you learn to do the finger plucking of the chord.
Yes. I'm sorry,
It'll-
I'm tuning.
No, you're good. It'll do that same thing. It'll give your fingers memory of how strong to press into the strings into the fretboard to make the chord better.
Excellent. So finger plucking like.
So use all your fingers.
Yes.
And literally you want to grab the strings and pull. Yeah. Make your thumb hit whatever the is. Make hit third finger hit.
What? The thumb on the bass note, and the thumb normally is in finger picking. The thumb in charge of the first three strings, right?
Oh my God, this bass is so heavy.
E, A, D.
So little and it's so heavy. It's like it's a tree. So
You're missing two strings.
it's a bass. You want to do this. See where my thumb is?
Yes.
Catching that string.
Yes.
This first finger's catching that one. This one's catching that one. This one's catching that one. And if you grab that other one and then pull. Yes. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Like the F.
And you can do
Help me with my checking.
you know how on the piano you do this?
Yes.
So that same technique, the plucking of the strings, you can do that with you can pluck and then go bloop, 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 pluck, bloop, 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 pluck.
I got to work on my.
There you go. And it allows you to hear how pure your notes are when you're.
Yes. And then I've been adjusting my bar chord a little bit just to get my knuckle in a better position. So that it is more clear. So that's the first thing is I'm still doing, 40 grave, 40.
It's good.
That's the name of 40 beats per minute apparently. I was working on Daydreams of the Swallow. This is a song that I created. Let's go back to Zoom and I'll do share screen. Oh, I'm sharing screen, but not that screen. I'm sharing your screen. We'll look at Guitar Pro. This may be too loud when we start, so I'm gonna play it and turn it down a little bit.
Okay.
That's okay on my end. How's that on your end?
It's good. If you're trying to share the screen with me so I can see the chords, I can't see it.
Oh, really? Oh, I didn't say. You have to highlight it and then say share. I keep highlighting it and not saying share.
There you go.
And this one still has some chords that when we come into it down here, there's a switch from A minor to B7, and I'm still not there with how to do that one. By B7.
A minor, B7. that shape. Make the other A minor like the A minor shaped like an E minor,
Yes.
and then for your B7,
I've got the shape down. I just can't do it's the chord change fast enough problem. Getting there fast enough. It's a like, you know, go practice problem. I understand how to make the B7 chord.
oh, that's a different B7 too. Okay.
Well,
Oh,
there better.
so the A minor and the B minor, your shape is the same.
Yes.
All you're adding is the first finger.
True, true.
So if you just make the shape of a A minor but don't use your first finger,
Yes.
that will make your A minor to B minor, A minor to B minor, because
But
you're
it's
just
A minor to B7. That's the problem.
where's B7? Yeah, that's which finger has to move first till you where you want to be.
A minor. When we go to a B7, so you've got to move the third finger over one, the second finger over one, and leave the second finger over one, the first finger over one, and leave the third finger home, where you know don't move it, and then add the fifth finger. So the third finger can anchor. That's what it is I'm wanting to pick up that third finger. Did I stop sharing?
No, you're good. I made the screen bigger.
So that's what it is I'm picking up the third finger, but I need to be leaving it down.
For this position, Bruce, I would make sure that your second finger moves first because your first finger is going to follow naturally.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
So just split the 3 and let the first, yeah.
So let's see what that sequence is. I'm going to slow down a little bit. Okay, so we're at A minor.
Every time we do this, it's just fascinating. I'm like, we're having a conversation.
Doing the program.
Yeah, and we're doing sheet music and we're recording.
And then it goes A7 to E minor, which is easier. So when we come to that part, it still needs some work, but the bulk of it is fairly straightforward. Think about what we're using a different strumming pattern on this one. So let's start over. there's a great deal of repetition, but it's those two sticky parts that I'm still working through, which is the A minor to B7. So I think that finger analysis will help, which is the A minor to B7 and then an E minor to B7. And so I'll do that same thing with the E minor, just working on minor is going to be every finger moves, but I think that's helpful in the A minor to B7 is looking at exactly which fingers need to move.
Mm-hmm.
And then
With any chord,
yeah,
transition to the next chord. What finger has to get in place first to make that?
exactly. And so but B minor, I'm sorry, B7 is one I want anyway because it comes up a lot when you're doing
Latin.
a lot of blues songs.
True, and a lot of Latin songs.
Yeah, that's the solution is play the E minor with 2 and 3 instead of 1 and 2.
Oh yeah.
And then the second one stays home the whole time. So I'll keep working with but that's part of one of I wanted to play this through just because to learn how to play it better. But it also has those two chord changes that I need to learn anyway, and so it made for a good practice tune that way. Still playing Mingale Bay. We listened to that last week, but it's fairly forward.
I was like, "Are you cussing at me?" Mingle. Before we leave that other song,
Yep.
practice playing it with just doing the finger plucking. It'll increase your accuracy.
That's what you mean?
Mm-hmm. And you can add thumb, first finger, second finger, third finger, fourth finger, thumb. Yes, because you're layering the sound, because this is just a straightforward, simple sounding song. So if you wanted to layer any song, you could do this, pluck, and then finger strum it.
I'll have to work that out on the.
Yeah, that's good. That's perfect. That's it.
When you're switching in the middle of the bar, though, when you're finger strumming, would you maybe you pluck one and strum the other one? So if you're going to an A7, this A7 to D in the middle of the, that chord change in the bar, because you're not going to.
You would have to move quicker. That's all.
I think you would pluck one of them. You'd pluck one of them and strum the other one, right?
Dude.
That makes sense?
Sure. Yes, it makes sense. Yes, you could do that. Yep, you could do that.
It's not going to sound familiar because
it sounds. I was going to say pretty, but.
Oh, I had great news. I did one of the I was recording direct to YouTube in order to see to capture practice sessions so I could listen to it after, right?
Hmm?
YouTube said, "Hey, I recognize that song. We're going to send any profit you have from this posting over to someone else because I recognize that song." And I said, "Yay!
That's cool.
We're doing great because you recognize what song I was trying to play."
That's good. That means you're doing the thing.
And then I started recording just on Zoom, which gave me the dual thing of being able to practice Zoom, and it just saves the file locally. Oh,
There is a way to tell it to save. There is a way to broadcast, record directly to YouTube. I'm still learning. I don't know how to do it yet, but I've seen videos of people
yes.
teaching how to use Zoom on YouTube while sharing screen. So I'm like, okay, so it's possible. I don't know how, but we'll figure it out.
What you can do is you can use a program like FF Split, and it'll capture whatever video is coming to your computer and send it directly to YouTube, like whatever's going on. But I thought you meant Zoom had that built into it, that somewhere in Zoom you can tell it, "Hey, here's my YouTube channel. Please connect this to YouTube." And
yes, that's what I meant.
that you can
somehow there's a way to do that.
You can add a Zoom app.
I have to keep doing my research because people will come on and do these seminars about this and that, and I'm like, you're forgetting basic steps like turn it on, plug in this, do that. They forget those steps. I'm like, you got to tell us how you're getting to that step. So I'll be that person.
Yeah, somehow I have, I'm going to stop sharing that. Okay, so now we need to go to whatever we're going to do with our last 3 minutes. I think those are the main things that I'm, it's getting the bar chords in time, but I'm playing through, the same songs. We heard Irish Rover before. This Tell God and the Devil, I was working on that, but it's, it's a simple song. It's just learning. It's another song that we enjoyed. And so we'll put the metronome on at some, this one doesn't have but it's actually a fairly fast song. They want the capo on 2, and we'll put the metronome at 120 or something. Very few chord changes, simple song, but it's another song that
I see Marching In. Is that the one you're talking about?
Marching Inland? No, let me go.
Okay.
Let me go change what I'm sharing. Oh, up here, stop sharing. New share. New share. Tell God and the Devil. Yeah, maybe Zoom will start telling me the same thing, that we're mad at you for copying someone else's song, and it was Tell God and the Devil or something else. Oh, I was going to put the metronome on, sorry. So I've still got to get my F chord sped up.
For absolute certain, Bruce, there is an effect on your overall sound. I don't know what it is, but I've heard it before, and I know it's some sort of effect.
Yeah.
Because it's on the vocals and the guitar. So something in the system wants you to do, what do you recall that, swells or whatever, in the mix. Something in the mix is doing that. My suggestion, I would pull everything out and then plug in just the vocals into your mix, see if that sound still has it. Hi, mixer. Which one are we on? Which channel?
Oh, sorry. That's actually the, let me kill that. I'm listening. Go ahead.
No, I was waiting for you to go back to the mixer board.
Okay. New share, export, share. This is what the virtual mixer looks like. So this is mic 1, the vocal mic. This is the mic for the amp.
And what is the B1 and B2 on the first mic?
So it's going to the headphone, and it's going to the virtual input so that it can go out of the computer to you. So B1 is going directly to you, and B2 is going to an auxiliary channel that plays over the speakers.
What is the comp on the vocals? That knob? Yeah.
Yeah, it's turned to 0.
There, that turned you up.
Yeah, it makes it louder, but it's set for compression.
Okay, so what has it been compressed at?
0.
So put it on 1 for a second, and then turn your overall volume down.
Okay, so I put it on 1, and then I can turn the overall volume.
Leave the rest of it for now. Turn your vocals down. Your fader gain.
Yes.
Bring that down.
Okay.
Okay, now talk into the mic again.
Talking into the mic. Speaking into the mic.
There you go. So turn it compressor up to 1.5. The compressor. Talk again.
Testing 1.5, 1.5, 1.5.
Go to 6. I mean, not 6, sorry. 1.8.
1.8, 1.8.
1.8 is better. And then what is to the right? What's the gate on the same channel?
Noise gate.
Say alphabet.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
Okay, take it up to 1.8.
A, B, C, D, E, F, G.
That's a better sound, but play your guitar now and talk.
Guitar and talking at the same time. At the same time, D, E minor, C, G.
There it is.
E.
Okay, stop. What is that? What else is turned on?
See, that's what I'm hearing in Zoom too, but I hear it in the recording, so there's something in the thing going out to you. There's no effects. There's this equalizer for.
All right, let's mess with that for a second. Go back to the equalizer. No, that won't do anything. It's an effects. It's an effect. Where are your effects? Click and select audio for playback. Master. Normal mode, counter. Normal mode. That's for the recording, right? Yeah, physical and virtual. So go ahead. Your physical, that channel right there, go to the EQ. Go back. The where it says normal mode, and we're in channel Yes, that channel right there.
That's
Click on the actual EQ button. Okay, top.
oh, here we go.
Oh wow. Okay. We changed screens. All right. So
That one?
there's some effects. Okay.
Maybe I have. Let's tell it. Oh, there's no EQ set in though. But let's turn off the EQ was turned on for one of them. So let's turn off the EQ all the way across. But the EQ wasn't turned on. See, it's not.
Okay.
It wasn't highlighted.
All right.
See, I wondered if because now I've got the mic going to both sides of the channel.
Uh-huh.
If the thing's happier doing that. So if I tell it, put the mic on both channels and put the guitar on both channels. G, D.
No, it's still in there. It only happens when you get to whatever that chord is. What's that chord you were just playing?
G.
Mm-mm. There, that chord. But it doesn't do it all the time.
Yes, that's what makes me think it's. That's what made me guess that it was muting that because it thinks that that's a conflicting noise.
Yes.
But you're right, it could still be something in my setup that is not coming. All I know is when I record, I'm getting that. But if I record to YouTube, let's look at that for a moment.
Okay.
Recorded to YouTube, does it do the same thing? Because my argument is if it's not doing that on YouTube, and I'll change your share as soon as we get there. But I had recorded one of the practice things onto YouTube. So let's say new share and tell it to share. Go to YouTube things. And so if I go to my channel and do one, that's a interface.
No, it's in there. Or is it in there because I'm listening from Zoom?
Yeah, I think it's not as consistently loud. So I do think there's something happening there. So either it's something in it's something happening in the mixer or it's something happening in the virtual banana.
So I'm going to try recording something for us later to see what happens, and then
See if you see what your experience is recording to Zoom. So you play the guitar in self-record in the Zoom, and then what I'll do. See, originally I was using the virtual banana because I needed to split out the I2 into two different channels. Meantime, and for Skype we needed to do that, but for Zoom, I don't think I will need to do that because it can let you choose. I can choose the PreSonus as an input, and only only take the PreSonus as an input. And we could do that right now. I'll tell it only take the PreSonus as an input. Don't go through the mixer. Right now, it's listening to the mixer. And I'm sorry, we're out of.
You're good. You're good. This is good stuff.
So I'm going to stop sharing. I'm going to go back to the Zoom, tell it to audio. Can't minimize while you're recording. Okay. I didn't want to and I'm going to tell it. I'm telling it now to go directly from the I2. So now it's not getting the virtual banana. It's just going directly from the I2. So
Is that the name of that product for real? That's funny.
it's actually called Voice Meter Virtual Banana, I think. Voice Meter Banana. Voice Meter Banana.
No.
But it's a virtual mixer. Okay, so now what we're going to try and do is a series of chords directly from the PreSonus. And you're listening for, do we still have the same problem? E, A minor, C, G.
Yes, and I think it's increased.
So that suggests that it's coming out of the PreSonus for some reason. But the PreSonus just mixes those two. I mean, that's its fundamental purpose, is to just mix those two together, right? Now, my PreSonus hasn't been turned off in an extended period of time. I wonder if it just needs a reboot, making believe it's a computer thing.
Yeah.
USB powered. So maybe.
Oh, this thing is designed specifically for running into the mix, the computer USB on the back.
Can you hear me
I'll show
again?
you. Yes.
Good. So I rebooted my PreSonus. So still the same thing?
Mm-hmm. I have, hold on, Bruce.
Yep. So tell me if you can still hear me. Good. So now it turned off the virtual banana altogether. Still the same thing? I can't hear you anymore.
It's the virtual banana.
Oh, because the system was using the virtual banana, so now I need to tell it to use something else, or I'll restart the virtual banana.
See the back?
Sorry, I've turned off my sound for a moment. Hold on just a minute and I'll get my sound turned back. Turned off my ears. Oh, maybe. I'm sorry, talk again now.
I said, this is the back of mine.
Oh, but I can if I tell it to use the virtual banana for audio output. Things. I'm sorry if I use the line 2 as an audio output. Can you speak?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so now I can hear you and you can hear me, and I'm only using the I2 and nothing else.
Okay.
But I think in the previous experiment, we found that it's still having whatever the wavering is just coming out of the I2.
No, when you took off the banana thing, it stopped doing it.
Oh.
So there it is. Or did you slow down? Okay, is the banana thing on?
No.
Okay. It is less of the wavering without the banana thing. So I think you're on the path of right.
Okay. And we don't need, as long as I can stop using the virtual banana if I can teach Yeah, I don't want to minimize it. Oh, it's telling me that because it's on full screen. I tell it to use the speakers, go to the, again, please.
I have this device.
Oh, good. Now you're in my speakers.
Can you see that?
Yes?
Is it backwards?
Yeah, MIDI and USB in and out.
Okay, and then it does a split
Yes?
in the back. And then it runs into the computer, into a USB port.
Yes?
So I don't know if you have that kind of setup on yours for getting into the personas.
So, no, my guitar is plugged into one input on the Presonus, and the mic is plugged in, the vocal mic's plugged in. The guitar mic's in one input, the vocal mic's in the other input,
Yeah, I got you.
and then it's happy. I mean, that's its sole purpose in life, is to take those two inputs and mix them together.
That's right.
Now, we're going through a pedal, an effects pedal on the way to the amp, on the way to the mic. But in the room, I don't hear it wavering.
Turn it off. Let's see what happens. As the man said, turn everything off, start from the very beginning. That's the only way you find out which bulb isn't working.
What I've done is turned off each of the effects on the pedal.
No, it gets to those two chords and it says no. It's very interesting.
Yeah, I can hear them in the room, but that's what makes me think it's some sort of, because as soon as you're repeating a chord, it says, "Oh, I've already heard that." It's it's chopping off the signal.
Mm-hmm.
It's compressing it because
Like,
it's
yeah.
repeating. But that would mean, but it's not on the way to the amp, because I can hear the amp, unless unless it's maxing out the PreSonus. Because I have the PreSonus is giving me a green light. And it'll go red if it thinks it's chopping, if it's, what's the right word?
Mm-hmm.
If it's
Too hot.
Yeah, and it's not. Okay, so I will keep playing with this.
And then when it's on your settings on the inside of the computer itself,
Yes.
Go to if you try this, Bruce, go to your audio controls from inside your computer and then show me the audio controls, because there is an effect inside the computer on the audio control of how it's going out as well. These are all the things I learned playing in Second Life.
I think we lost, the sharing moved to the bottom. Okay, so I'm going to share the audio controls. Share. I don't like that you pick the window and then have to hit share again. So if those guys are watching then. Okay, so now we're looking at the microphones that we're recording from.
All right, so you're getting levels from that. You're getting levels from the headset.
Yes.
And
Well,
where
let's
else are you getting a level?
we're taking input from this audio box I2 default
Oh,
that.
you have to. Okay, experiment. Turn one of the other off. Now talk to me.
Testing, testing, testing.
I can still hear you.
Yeah, because we're using the audio box. The Zoom is using the audio box USB I2 as the default input.
Then turn off that one and see what happens.
You won't hear me anymore. The mics are going. The PreSonus is the audio box I2.
Then double click on that audio box USB. Double click on it. Enhancements. Okay. Scroll through that list. Let's see what's activated.
I just choose disable all.
Oh,
No,
okay.
that's all. There's only 4 of them there.
That's interesting.
But I'll choose disable enhancements.
Okay, and then save it. Now around that pattern. I have no guitar on my end. I have no sound from you speaking, yeah, at all on my end. So go back to the double click enhancement and turn it back on, and then tell it to do room or speak for me. Talk. Nope. You have no sound. But you can hear me, right? Interesting. Go back to the microphone. Double click. That's interesting. It stopped altogether. There's sound, some sort of weird sound, but it's cleaner.
Can you
No.
hear me again now?
Yes.
Okay. So after we jiggled the other mic, I came back into Zoom and told it to use the PreSonus again. Now you
Okay.
should be able to hear that and be able to hear the guitar. Can you hear the
Yes.
guitar also?
Interesting. Okay.
Still doing the same thing?
It's still doing it, but again, I'm gonna see what happens when I record, and then I'll send you a link and let you see. Because
Yes.
again, it may be just how it's going into the personas from your computer into Zoom.
Yes. But I mean, this is exactly the way the PreSonus is designed to work, right? And we haven't heard this squelch before we were Zooming.
Correct.
I mean, at first when I heard that, I thought, well, is that the way my guitar's sounding to you every week? But
No.
when we were doing Skype, we weren't getting that. So that's
That is correct.
Still something in Zoom that's helping.
It's helping.
Yeah, it's helping too much. And so somewhere there may be a setting that says, background audio or make the audio clearer or something. But Zoom is,
And then maybe they'll give us a membership for free once we figure it out.
oh, under statistics, oh, it just shows audio and packet loss. No packet loss. All the packets are coming through, which is interesting because that, you know, if the packets were not coming through, and it's a wired connection, and the audio is at a 24 kilohertz frequency, a latency of 26 milliseconds and 1 millisecond of jitter. Yeah, so, oh, and it's going to go off to the web page again. If you ask it advanced features, it gets nuts and goes off to the web page. Anyway, I've kept you too long tonight.
Oh, this is great. This is what you're my best student for doing this with, because I can go, Bruce, let's figure this out.
Yes. And you can do that in between. I'm at the computer a lot, and so if there's something that you need to help test on the Zoom, I don't mind helping with that.
All right.
The other
Tell
thing,
Ann I said hello.
I will, and thank you. The other thing I'll go do is just do some direct recordings to, I don't know if I can just tell the video, my desktop video, to record using the sound from the i2 or not. It may only want to use its mic when it's recording. But I'm going to try and figure out other ways to record so I can test, is that problem coming from the i2 or not?
All right. And do you have a little small mixer?
No.
Okay.
Well, maybe somewhere, but not that I mean, that's what the i2 is a mixer.
Yeah.
That's the reason we have it. But, you know, if it becomes a problem with the i2, then, yeah, we'll get something else instead of the i2. But I'm not convinced the problems with the i2. As you said, you test each step, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so if the audio coming out of the i2 doesn't sound like what we're hearing on Zoom, then it's not a problem with the i2.
That is right.
It may be a problem with
Zoom.
Windows sending it out of the i2 to Zoom. Well, yeah, I'd still be testing all the way from the i2, from the guitar through the mic to the i2 to Windows. And if it's not a problem there, then it's something in Zoom. Then there's some setting in Zoom.
Welcome to my world.
But it's just, I think it's just when it hears repetitive chords, which makes me think it's an algorithmic problem. But that's what we'd like to hear, is you play something and record it and see what happens. Because if what we don't want to do is go through all the hardware twice in order to find out that it wasn't a hardware problem.
Right. So I'm gonna play with it because I'm off tomorrow. So I'll
Now,
do that.
is my mic louder now?
Only when you're up on it.
Yeah, it's very proximity, but that's the advantage of that, is so it doesn't, you don't hear as much of the amp through this mic.
Yes.
Which is the design.
I would say move your mic to the left 2 inches. Just extend your, yeah.
Okay. That's not, oh.
On the boom itself, well, yeah, that'll work too.
If it's out of reach of my guitar.
There you go.
No, I have to turn the guitar down.
I also feel like the clarity on the cameras on these are so much better on Zoom.
Yeah, I think they're doing a great job with the picture. We still need to get you some LED lights. Because, you know, you can't see it in the thing, but I use 2 big umbrella lights above the screen.
Oh, wow.
And so, like photographic lights.
Mm-hmm.
But they have better ones now. These are actually LCD, you know, each one has 5 LCD bulbs in it. The better ones are the ones where it's just an LED panel, because they don't get hot. They don't, you know.
Yeah, because these lights get hot.
Yeah. So for indirect light, I think you could, and the reason I say that though is, if I didn't have this indirect lighting, then the camera doesn't look near as good.
Well, I have on the overhead light, or they just put in brand new lights. I have a light here and I have a light over there. So
But the lights are like just house lights.
just regular, the little.
So we need to work that where you get actual indirect lighting.
There's no place to put it. I'd have to do a boom, tripod with lights on top.
They're on tripods.
I've Oh well, alrighty.
They come with. You go to Amazon, they're like $150, um, but yeah, it's two 6-foot tripods with big umbrella things on top of them. But if I were doing it today, I wouldn't get that. I would get, as I say, they have like LED panels.
Okay, I will look for something.
Will give you the equivalent. Yeah, these are um, like umbrella things, but they have then a white sheet over the light, so that
Like a bowl, like a dome type of thing, so it throws the light without throwing the heat. Yeah.
over it. But it's got a sheet, a white sheet over it, so that I don't get a reflection.
Yeah.
The reason I started doing that was like if I look at your video right now, I can see your screen in your glasses,
Mhm.
and I was trying to get rid of that.
That's good.
I can
And you can see them all sweaty and hot. Okay.
So I tried to get rid of that was the original when we were doing the Caddy Info podcast. Okay,
I
good.
will.
Thank you for being on.
Thank you. I will see you next week, Bruce.
Oh, I was going to say, like at the gym, do you have a scale that does all the different percentages? It tells you body composition?
No, it's just a simple. You're fat. You're not fat.
What I'm going to suggest is um, I got like a Tanita 533, I think it is, but go research. But basically, and you can't do it if you're pregnant, but you're not, so good. But it tells you your percent body fat, and it tells you your lean body mass, and it tells you the weight of your bones, and it tells you day to day, and it's very accurate for day to day measurements. And so that would help you answer the question as you're doing all this exercise and you're maintaining your diet, your intake and so on. Then it can be frustrating because it's really, really good if you gain a pound of muscle mass and you lose a pound of fat. That's ideal, but your weight wouldn't change.
Oh yeah.
And so if you're just monitoring weight, it doesn't tell you that story. And so
No, I've always been that person. I've always reduced size because I gain muscle mass. It's mesomorph, I think is the term for it. So I will look smaller, but my body weight will say one thing. So I've always been like, okay, I know. I look small, but I'm not. Bone density, I'm a very dense person, and I know that. So I'm okay. I just want to get into clothes and look toned. That's all I would care
as
about.
long as you're happy, but whenever I'm dieting, I want the most information possible. And so I always go to Tanita for accuracy of the scale. And then the fact that their current thing does all these other measurements helps me with keeping up, trying to figure out what's actually going on.
Right on.
That's what I recommend.
I appreciate that.
And there's an app on the phone to track.
I have an app that tracks
Okay.
not weight, exercises.
Yes.
My
So
goal is 500 calories plus a day, and then still being aware of what my intake is food wise. So right now, no alcohol, no carbohydrates that are bad because I'm allergic to eggs. They make me break out in hives, which eggs is in everything.
we don't want that. But there's an app called True Weight, but whenever I'm dieting, I use a thing called the hacker's diet.
Okay.
The hacker's diet works is it's calories in, calories out. So you keep up with all the calories you're taking in, but it actually keeps up with, whenever I put my weight into the app, it's taking the average of the last so many days of weight and then merging in the new weight. So it's automatically doing a trend in order to take your day-to-day weight fluctuations out of the picture.
Let me see the picture.
So,
Is it this one? True Weight Light?
yeah, that one's the free one. And then if you decide to get the full one, it's $1 more. The full one costs $1. But what it does is, I don't think you'd be able to see the detail, But what it
Yeah.
does is, so that's a graph of my weight over the last, 10 days or something. But you see that little dotted line below it?
Mm-hmm.
That's the day-to-day scale readings. But the solid line is the average over the last 5 days. So the
So you,
day-to-day may go up and down.
oh yeah, you tell it your weight. Is that correct?
I put in my weight every day.
Okay. Yeah, I don't have a weight scale.
But the interesting thing it does for me is, so it's telling me daily energy. So without me recording all my calories, it's telling me, hey, on an average day, your your metabolism is 1,000 calories more than you're eating,
That's good.
which is, so if I'm trying to lose weight, like right now, then I want to lose about 2 pounds a week. And so I'm trying to tailor my intake so that it's about so many calories below my metabolism, by raising my metabolism and by monitoring my intake.
How much water are you intaking?
Tons, because I stopped drinking Diet Cokes altogether because of caffeine,
That's good.
and then I drink water all day. But my hydration is still not where it should be. Like I'm at 46%, and I'm supposed to be at 55%.
Oh wow.
But my scale tells me that. So again, I'll be able to see those change. If what I'm doing changes. So there's nothing like having information.
That is correct. And you're a fella, so you will release weight. I don't say lose.
Yeah,
You will release weight quicker than a
yeah.
female.
Yeah, I have the blessing of being 6'2" and having a high enough metabolism that I can eat reasonable food and still lose weight. But, I'm also doing more. My mom always said there's two secrets to losing weight. It's eat less and exercise more.
She's right.
And it hasn't changed in the last 50 years. So,
She right. She right.
all right, have a good night. I will
See you
hopefully.
next week.
Oh, last week didn't save the recording on my end, and I'm not sure why.
Okay. Well, I didn't. It won't let me record unless I ask you for permission. So I was skipping that for today. So we'll see what happens. All I see is that it's recording. It's recording on your end.
Yes, but and it may be that when you're hosting the meeting, if I ask it to record, it probably just puts up a modal dialogue that says, "Ask the moderator if it's okay." In other words, but it doesn't say. And I said okay to that, but what they mean is you have to tell it to record twice, because the first time, if you're the guest, we're going to tell you to ask the moderator. But then if you click, what I expected that it does is if you click record again, then it will start recording.
I guess we'll find out because I didn't see that you had asked me to record. It just says recording in my
Yes.
camera.
Yeah. Because when we first turned it on, I said, "Oh, I want to record this." So
Right. I
like
remember.
right now, if you said record to make a local file on your computer,
Yeah, it won't do it unless you give me permission.
but it didn't ask me. So you click record.
So we click and record, and it says, please request recording permission from the meeting host. So I say, okay,
Yes, you
and
have
then
permission. And then hit record again.
and then
And then hit record again.
it says the same thing. Please request recording permission from the meeting host.
So maybe there's some way where we can give, you have to right click, you have to click on participants and then click on their name and then choose allow record. Now choose record again.
Host allows you to record this meeting.
Unless you tell them they're allowed to record, they can't.
Oh, yes.
In the software, you have to tell them.
Stop recording, play recording.
Yeah.
All right, testing, and record will be converted to MP4. Okay, so it recorded just at 5 seconds.
Yeah. So now
Right.
we'll know that. So if you're hosting, you have to tell it that it's okay for me to record and vice versa. Because I like to keep our guitar lessons every week.
So this whole thing has not been recorded?
This whole thing has been recorded, but it's recorded in a local file on my computer.
Cool.
When you record, it records on a local file on your computer.
Cool.
So that way, what you want is everybody can keep their own copy, or
you're going to take the master and post it to a common share,
Right.
one or the
Which
other.
which would be YouTube.
Yeah, for us, but for if you were doing it for a company, then you might have an internal share drive or whatever. Okay, have a good night.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.